My name is Kiran Kaur, and I have a passion for art. Today, I'm going to paint you a story, the power of Chardi. Chardi is something we've all heard. We hear it at the end of every ardas, Nanak Naam Chardi Kala, Tere Parne Sarbatta Pala. But I never really looked into the meaning and idea behind the word. For me, Chardi is a little hard to define. It's one of those words in Bani that you could take multiple paragraphs to get a complete definition of. It's eternal optimism, yes, but it's not just bumbling through life saying, yeah, it's all good, no worries. Because Chardi isn't laziness with the excuse and justification of life being in Vaheguru's Hukam. It's about recognizing the struggles in life, the sorrow, the pain, the regret, and being able to look all that in the eye and still say, it's a good life, and that it's a blessing that Vaheguruji has given me the opportunity to live such a life. In terms of Sikh history and Sakhiyan, Chardi is referenced as an outlook on life when the going gets tough. Often in Sakhis about Shahidiyan and dying in the name of the Guru, Chardi is the final emotion in their lives. It's mind-boggling actually that these martyrs are sitting there on the brink of death, usually in some excruciatingly painful way, and they're able to maintain their composure and say that it's all in Vaheguru's Hukam. The best and one of the most incredible examples I have is the Shahidi of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Guru Arjan Dev Ji was the fifth Guru of the Sikhs, and he was being given the option to surrender his faith and convert to Islam or die. And he chose death rather than to abandon his Sikhi. As he sat on a hot tawa with hot sand being poured over him, he didn't cry or beg for mercy or say that Vaheguruji had made him suffer. In fact, he said, Tera kiya meetha lage, har naam padarat nanak mange. Everything you do, everything in your hukam, Vaheguruji, is sweet to me. All I could ever want is to live in your hukam. And that if this is the life Guru wants for me, then I am not one to argue with it. It's an otherworldly type of strength. Now I want to talk a little bit about my personal journey of Chardi because I'm not really in a position to preach. I can share my story and maybe someone will gain something from it. So, the challenge is Chardi is easy to talk about in vague hypotheticals about the life we would lead, but it isn't easy to transcribe into everyday life. If Chardi is the standard of the Gurus, we know it's more than likely going to be a difficult standard to live up to. The point is to try, to aim for this. Sometimes life hits you with really bad days, heartbreak, hurdles, or tragedies. Sometimes the day brings death, for example. And these are the moments when the resilience within Chardi is really tested. I remember when my Nanaji's father passed away and we were traveling to Maryland for the Bhog. And I remember thinking that I would see my Nanaji crying, that he would be quiet, somber, or upset. But when we pulled up to his home, he came out to greet us with a big smile on his face and was so excited to see us. I was shocked that in possibly one of the lowest of the lows in his life, he could still pull out a smile. And yes, the trip had its tears, but it shows the impact that this had on me. Because 5 years have passed and this is still what comes to mind when I think of Chardi. However, I haven't seen anyone in a permanent state of Chardi. I don't know if anyone can really perfect it, because we're human, though you probably didn't need me to tell you that. But the idea behind reaching for Chardi is that it's an idea to implement as much as we can, as often as we can. Like anything else in Bani, it's not something you just snap into and are suddenly a perfect being. Fortunately for us, perfection isn't the end goal. The perfection comes in the journey. For me, I try to look at every day as a chance to improve on the day before, and work towards being that high-spirited, resilient core that I see is the piece of the Panth that I want to represent. Chardi is like the divine light within us. Everybody has the capacity for it, but it just takes a little introspection to find it. The times when I felt an inkling of what Chardi is when I see other people happy. When I see people pouring their heart and soul into whatever they're doing, and their love for life is just oozing out of them. When I see my Dadiji painting and capturing what she sees as the beauty in the world, I see Chardi. When I see my dear friend Catherine sing her heart out at a restaurant performance, I see Chardi. When I see people like Harleen Benji, a woman I met at Siddiq, talk about Bani with such enthusiasm and love and passion, I see Chardi. When I see people living, truly living, those are the times that I see Chardi. In this painting, there's a glass of water, half full or half empty. Yes, this is the big, cliche, recognizable symbol for optimism, so it fits in with the way Chardi looks at perspective. The outlook with which you look on life is what determines how you're going to live your life, how your piece fits into the puzzle. This ties into another part of this painting, the galaxy backdrop. This is representative of how each of our roles is in a bigger plan. A Kaupurik's plan and the complexities of the universe are much, much bigger than any of our individual experiences. I firmly believe this idea of purpose and intention. However, as small as my individual role may be, it is there. I exist for a reason, and Vaheguru put me on this earth with a purpose. Just because I may not have fully realized or found it yet doesn't mean that it's not there. And this in and of itself is a reason for living life. If I truly believe in the divine light within myself and in the existence of a preordained purpose, then there is no excuse for not living life to my fullest potential. And yes, sometimes that requires extra time or effort, but that is also Chardi Kala, the life of Kirat Karni, of solid, honest work, making an impact, making a difference, making use of the life that I've been granted. So when I'm at my 100th birthday party, looking back on my life, seeing what it was made up of, I want to be able to step back and see that while it may not have been full to the brim of immaculate success or reward or ease, but one where my attitude was that of resilience and of high spirits and of Chardi Kala.